Hey guys, this is Kevin. I wanted to get this channel up and running and started, so I've been videotaping. It's taken me a while to get used to talking to the camera and getting my shots and my angles and all that. So the first part of this video, it's a little shaky, a little dry. Stay with me for a little bit. The second half's a lot better, and I promise the next few videos to come out, we're gonna get better and better. We're learning as we go. The editing process, the filming process. Like I said, I've never done anything like this. But in true Kev fashion, I just started and we're figuring out as we go, because that's the best way to do it. If you don't start, you never start. So I hope y'all enjoy the episode. Stick with it through the end. I promise it'll get better as we go. Alright, today the goal is to get this bulkhead done. We cut out the rotten piece of the bulkhead the other day. I already got that piece traced out. I'll show you what we got. Got that piece traced out on a piece of plywood. We're going to take it to the boat where the jigsaw is and cut it out. And then this is the aft side of the quarter berth locker that was rotten as well. We're going to get it traced out on plywood, rough cut out here, and then we're going to take it to the boat and take the jigsaw and fine cut it out. And try to get at least the bulkhead installed today. We're going to see how that goes. So stay with us. And there we go. We got it kind of rough cut out. I'm going to take it to the boat and we will fine cut it to shape and fit it and all that good stuff. Okay, we're back on the boat. So we got here, this is where this locker is going to go. The hanging locker for the quarter berth, and this is the piece of the bulkhead that I cut out because it was rotten. I got the piece that we traced out of the house up in the cockpit. We're going to cut it out with the jigsaw, get it mounted in here. It's going to screw in right here. Then I'll probably go back with some thickened epoxy and fill this seam and maybe tab it into the hole. And then the other piece of the locker is going to go right here. You can see where the old one was. And then we can build out the locker from there. But right now I'm going to clean all this up real good, and we're going to go up in the cockpit and cut out the bulkhead piece, and then we're going to get it installed. Okay, we got the bulkhead cut out and screwed in right now. Probably going to go back. We got some rain coming in, so I'm not going to do it today, but I'm going to come back later and I'm going to put some thickened epoxy in this seam, and then probably put a strip of fiberglass over that and tab it to the hole. Like I said, we got some weather coming in. I'm gonna try to go ahead and get this cut and dry fit so I can get some measurements, but that's all we're gonna do today. Alright, that looks good enough for now, so we're going to let that kick off and cure, and we're going to go ahead and trim this other piece that we got and measure up and get the top cut. never as easy as it's supposed to be. Constantly stripping out screws. Pain in the butt. It also helps when you're trying to work. And you got the sun right in your face every time you look up. Alright, we got it kind of framed out. We're going to let this epoxy cure, and then we're going to come back later and another day. We're going to cut a hole back here for this dude and get all these wires kind of tucked away and cleaned up so we can get our refrigerator plugged in there. So in a couple of days, when Amelia's mom gets home from Europe, we can move on to the boat, and I have my refrigerator plugged up. And the refrigerator is the last thing that we're waiting on right now to be fully capable of living aboard. We've got the stove hooked up, we've got water. You know, it's not clean, we're still drinking out of jugs, but we're going to clean the tank once we move on board. So really the refrigerator is the only thing we need right now, and we can move aboard, so we're going to do that. Okay, yesterday I came out for a little bit. I didn't record anything, I just came out real quick and I popped this outlet in and got the wires done. So here's what we got. We got the hanging locker kind of framed out. We still got to put the shelves and the door on, but we got the important thing. The outlet is in and wired and all tucked away and cleaned up, so we can get our refrigerator put in right here. The goal today is we're going to sand all the brown and all the old stuff here, and all that bulkhead. We're going to sand it down, and we're going to prime it with Kills so that we can paint it later. Right now we're just going to worry about primer. So that's what we're going to do today. probably should have a respirator on for this, but whatever, I'm almost done. Okay, I am gonna put the respirator on. Oh. Now that everything's covered in dust, we can paint. Probably should have done that a little bit differently. Alright, we got all the priming done. Went back and put a second coat on. All that's done. Got the locker painted. I didn't do this down here yet, I'm gonna do that later. And we got all this. So we're ready for all this back here in the quarter berth. I'm gonna keep white for now. Get the refrigerator in. And then I'll paint this other side. So the dinette area blue to match the wall over there. So that's done. We're gonna let this dry. I'm gonna go get some air because it's a little fumy in here, and then I'm gonna straighten up and we'll get back with you. Alright, now that's all done, just gotta get the refrigerator on and then we can move on board. Should be living on board tomorrow. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Join us next time. We'll be moving on to the boat. We're probably going to do a before and after montage. I don't have video of the last year. I got a couple little video clips. Most of it's just before and after pictures to get you up to the beginning of this video. But we'll see how that all plays out. Depends on time and what all's going. You know, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. But we'll try to keep y'all as updated as possible. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time living on the boat.